going on, everyone? This is Cody coming back to my channel, Neon Raptor 2020, and today we're going to talk about Kathleen Kennedy and if she's going to still be the captain of the Star Wars ship moving forward. Let's get into it. This article comes to us from piratesandprincesses.net. The title is Disney Plus May Save Kathleen Kennedy's Job, which over the past couple of years, really ever since The Last Jedi, there have been rumors and speculation almost nonstop of Kathleen Kennedy's going to lose her job. She's going to get replaced. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm kind of getting tired of hearing about it. But I'm into this article and I want to discuss this with you because I love Star Wars and I still want to know who's going to be the captain of that ship, whether it's Kathleen Kennedy or not. Let's get into this. We're hearing that a change is afoot over at Lucasfilm, whereas previously we had believed that Kathleen Kennedy would leave her position as head of Lucasfilm when her contract ends, taking a legacy position within the Walt Disney Company. We now believe that might be in question. According to sources familiar with the ongoings of Lucasfilm, we now believe that Mrs. Kennedy may be positioning herself to stay at Lucasfilm, which I'm sure right then and there a lot of fans are like, bah! But let's just keep going, okay? We're not sure how this affects Jon Favreau and how he perceives his future with Star Wars. The change, we believe, is that Mrs. Kennedy now has a successful series with The Mandalorian, and the future of entertainment appears to be the long-format series on streaming platforms. We know we're also going to get like a Rogue One prequel series with that character, who I can't even remember his name. Diego Luna is the actor. Yeah, it doesn't say much for the characters. Anyway, we're getting a Disney Plus miniseries based on that, which I'm not really that into, honestly. But let's see what they do with it, because I didn't like the Mandalorian idea. Now I love it. And we're also getting an Obi-Wan series, which, after being in years and years of development, I think it's actually supposed to really start shooting early next year. Let's keep reading. Big budget feature films may no longer be the king of the cinematic revenue system, and rather series like The Mandalorian and Stranger Things could be the paradigm shift. Yeah, with what's going on with movie theaters right now and with the rise of streaming, the streaming wars, you know, miniseries and Disney Plus, Star Wars Homes might be on Disney Plus now. It might not be in the theaters, you know. And I kind of really like this format. I wasn't so sure at first, but I really like this format. We get more Star Wars because you get a bunch of episodes, a half an hour, 45 minutes long. And, you know, we're going to have new and more stories. It's not just going to be like, okay, there's one movie. Because when you're limited to movies and not a series, you're limited to what you can do because it's 2 or 3 hours and it's a big event. But if you have multiple miniseries, you have more room to play around. You can do more things. You can explore new areas, new topics, new characters. So I like what they're doing right now. I want to see more Star Wars on Disney Plus. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Combined with the power of a successful series on Disney Plus, perhaps the most important asset on Disney Plus, probably the most important asset of Disney Plus, behind the catalog. I think most people, in my opinion, have Disney Plus not for Star Wars, not for this, not for that, because they don't have that much exclusive content yet. I think it's mostly, the biggest ones have been Hamilton and The Mandalorian, but for the back catalog of Pixar, the Star Wars films, of all the Disney films, all that stuff, because a lot of people like me have families and kids, and a lot of people have Disney Plus, not because there's going to be new stuff coming out, but because they're a family and their kids love Disney, you know? Let's keep going. The job opportunities in Hollywood going forward are limited and changing, whereas Kennedy would have had her choice of positions before the pandemic, that's no longer certain. This provides her with incentive to keep the current job. We also believe that she's interested in pushing her ideological views, and a new strategy is being formed in which properties like The Mandalorian are protected from such measures, while other new series are given license to push the philosophical boundaries. We believe Leslie Headland is part of the strategy, but even if, I don't know who that is, sorry, whatever. But even if Kennedy wishes to stay at Lucasfilm, surely she doesn't have the support behind her, you might say. And to some degree, you'd be right. Kennedy botched the sequel trilogy to the point there's almost no marketing whatsoever for those characters any longer. Let me comment on that real quick. Yeah, they botched the sequel trilogy. I agree. They botched it with The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi took it off the rails, and I'm not sure that they could have done anything to put it back on the rails. JJ did an Adam Earl job. I feel like he did the best he could trying to pick up the broken Legos that were destroyed all over the ground to try to put it back together that Rian Johnson left him. And, you know, but I think The Force Awakens was a great foundation. Toys were everywhere at that time. Star Wars was at a high. People, Kylo Ren. People liked Rey. People liked Finn. People were really interested. What, Snoke? There were so many theory videos online after The Force Awakens came out, leading up to The Last Jedi. Star Wars was at an all-time high after The Force Awakens. Force Awakens brought it here. And then, you know, leading up to The Last Jedi, it's got higher and higher and higher. And The Last Jedi, it tanked it, man. It tanked it. It did not make nearly as much money. And of course, that's one thing. Of course, it wasn't going to make as much money as The Force Awakens because that was a unique moment in history. Star Wars was back after a long time, and they were doing it the right way. it didn't make nearly as much money as I think it should have. It divided the fans in a terrible way. It made the Star Wars fan community so incredibly pissed off, angry, toxic, and torn. And the Rise of Skywalker was a result of that. Yeah, she botched the sequel trilogy. Okay, yeah, there's that. Where were we? The original trilogy and prequel trilogy both have beloved characters decades later. Okay, well, it's one thing to say they have beloved characters decades later. You know, the sequel trilogy might be looked at fondly in 10 or 15 years, just like the prequels. They weren't looked at very fondly when they first came out, but now people are like, the prequels are great. Oh, we love what George Lucas did, blah, blah, blah. Oh, we love Jar Jar, blah, 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 blah. But back in the day, that wasn't the case. So the sequel trilogy might find a home, you know, down the road in people's minds and hearts that's just not there right now. You know, the prevalence of the YouTube community, online commenting, Twitter, and all the internet and stuff like that wasn't really there when the prequels came out, but it's there for the sequels. And so it's the hate for the sequels seems so much stronger because of the accessibility for people to voice their opinions and their thoughts, kind of like I'm doing here right now. So well, let's keep going. But Kennedy has a secret weapon to be staying on as president of Lucasfilm. Let me explain. Imagine for a moment that there was a company which was trying to woo a community. Okay, we're not going to get into this hoo-ha. Okay, I'm putting that down. Okay, so basically what the article says is that there might be a likelihood of Kathleen Kennedy staying on behind her contract, which ends later on in 2021. And honestly, I was on board the hate train with Geeks and Gamers and Jeremy and all the fan community a couple years ago. I was on that hate train very, very, very hard. I was. But, you know, the way I'm looking at Star Wars and the sequel trilogy, The Last Jedi in particular now, is I look at it like let's say that you're in a relationship with someone that you love, and you guys have a really bad fight, and you split, and you come back together a couple months later, you know, but you guys move on, and you guys are successful, and you guys end up getting married, you guys end up having a kid, things work out. Yeah, there's some shitty things that happened, but you moved beyond that, and you grew because of it. I think that Lucasfilm and Disney can learn from the mistakes that they made with the sequel trilogy, and they can improve upon it like they already have with The Mandalorian. I'm not, although I used to say get rid of Kathleen Kennedy, I'm okay with her staying on board because she's allowed people like Jon Favreau to produce The Mandalorian. If she gets more creatives that are allowed to do their thing, they can make more awesome pieces of art, things and stars that we've never seen. We don't have to retrace the steps. And who knows when they make their next Star Wars movie. Let's say they make an episode 10, 11, 12. You know, I'm sure that they're going to learn their lessons. I'm not willing to put Kathleen Kennedy on the chopping block anymore. I'm past that. I'm done being angry with Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I think that it would be okay if she stuck around because I think they learned their lessons, and I want to give them another chance. You know, that's how I feel. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think Kathleen Kennedy should stay around? Do you hate her? Were you on the hate train like I was a couple years ago? Are you still there? You know, how do you feel about Star Wars maybe being on Disney Plus? Like Disney Plus would be the home of Star Wars with only occasional or maybe no new films. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. My name is Cody. This channel is Neon Raptor 2020. Have a good day and peace.